Larice, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, help you any way I can. First, about that night. You need to go to the little temple, correct? Last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, just as I said yesterday, until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then, that night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the times Sister Bikini turned to the main hall and went see bowl witness to the mall. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. And it wasn't sure how you used it. It was me. So it was you? But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. What? The safety of the Acolyte. Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Dioxnum? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought. No Cyclops. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Court will now reconvene. Miss Montgomery, where is the witness? On the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Did I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? You a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Louise Dioxnum, I hope you're ready. Get in here! It seems that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! I was just artistic. Oh! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your sapone, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a freelance artist training out in the mountains. Going down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, I used the technical term for the color, Viridian. So Viridian City in Pokemon means Green City? Larry, this isn't an art star now, is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about walking in the fields, isn't it? Walking in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field walk, I hope. That's it! Thanks, buddy! It's kind of sad to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Quite red. Oh, use a technical term, Crimson Lake. Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-ripping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. This is too much for me. I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. That girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now, aren't I, Angie? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? This sesame will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can dive into other details at a later time. I was at the lodge out on the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked into the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge at that night either.
Objection!
Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Auntie, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. Ah, you're totally putting this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder took place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. Therefore, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts! That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. As long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, you need to change into your inner self, but for now, you saw that night. Testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. I've finally woken up! Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it! I'll testify! Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I went to the shack around 9 p.m., so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window, and the ski bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went out right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a goal. It totally burnt out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I knew with that man he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bed when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and the ski bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out.
Hold it!
You said it right away. But exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe about 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you warned from the bridge? Hold on. Well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about 5-minute walk. How did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I've recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press the phone more info? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call him? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a tower in front, one would try and tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you did it. Yeah, okay. A reason. My reason. Listen, I didn't try to tell anyone. I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Objection!
Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. Hey, Edgy! You make me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge? Meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. This is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hezekiah Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm the... It's been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. This only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisco Palmer. The slip ahead of you is slippery. But there's still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? There's clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. This means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge, it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until The flames have died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. But Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15 p.m. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during those 15 minutes? Jeez, I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. It's me. Order, order, order! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therefore lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civil duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means that there has been a reason for his inaction. Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just like that. You've been playing with us this whole time. Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Ah! Then say it! Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was ripped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was in, I transferred all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, flames had gone out and then he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folks. That's right. Willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw this perfect sketch. Including the truth of the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You regret this, Edgy? Emily asked him, I'm an artist, what do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge I was into a frenzy of art. Hold it! Sketching? The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Ezzy? You'll regret this. Ah! Enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Should you? A terrible feeling at the instant this sketch is revealed. The entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Oh, well. Even I could have imagined it turn out like this. Imagine what? Here today like this. Ouch! Show it now. Okay, let's dear yourselves. This is the ward of Larice the Axnum. Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes. Well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. Of course, I'll bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? Wooden bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? You spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course, Iris! Iris to take more care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What happened to her? She had into herself flying like that. Mary, please answer this next question honestly. Okay. You really claiming to have seen this? Claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yeah, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. But we're artists. You! The goal! This is really high up in this Pixar. Ah! What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please rip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no Cutterflower ever acknowledged that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to forceless, Miles Edgeworth. Let's get back to the cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Restore my more. Huh? What do you think of my DWP? Get that thing away from me! Hurry up and cross-examine him! So with the accent, I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching above the bridge, I was listening to a frenzy of arts. I saw Iris flying, a white hood fluttering.
Objection!
Larry! What did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I knew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that it's the truth. That is truly the case. And there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? The person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah! Foolish statement. Equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, according to this picture, the individual who you say you saw was Wright. Of course he was. That was that sack is quite away from the bare ends. The hood is what told me that this morning angel was my Iris. My darling Iris. And Iris is my darling hood. Ah! There are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense bench. Larry, this is something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris was around her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you willing to change the story now? First, since it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what that means as fine. Why? Why didn't Nick have Iris's hood? What? Ezzy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you... Nick, you dog! I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Ezzy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive? Evidence? I was indeed come flying over the pudding bridge. Died. Larice the Axeman. Now prove it. We shall be reading your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch. And so as your evidence that does not know is actually reality. Okay. I hope you're ready, Ezzy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain! You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me! I reached the skid when she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frequently searched all over for her. And let me find a beautiful Christmas spear. Buried in the snow. Instead, Iris was simply wearing a snow hood. So, no one else could have lost a Christmas spear that night. Christmas spear? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That spear. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here. Somewhere looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked over to the bridge. The Scott accepts it's Christmas spear. That's fine, okay? I want it back afterwards. There's something on it. Oh my. It's blood. What? Blood? You ready, Ezzy? By tomorrow morning you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Larice the Oxen only a few minutes ago? When I reached the skid when she was already gone. I was so worried so I freaking searched all over for her. We found a beautiful Christmas spear half buried in the snow. I'm sure that I was just simply wearing a spare hood. After all, I else could have lost a Christmas spear that night.
Objection!
Larry, that night, was there someone who lost the Christmas spear? There was. Who was this stupid idiot? Mr. Larice the Oxnard, the mentor to a stupid idiot. Victim? I have a photo of her here. And the first step, you can see a familiar looking crystal sphere. Hey! It's my photograph! Give it back! Ow! Crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. Looks nothing alike! Please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime. Ah, crystal sphere. It's gone. What? Just what does this mean? Anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night? So it was not Iris after all. She's not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew the sphere was the victim, Mr. Larice the Oxnard.
Objection!
A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch which I prefer to call a scribble is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that! I serve my home! And this crystal sphere? This is nothing more than a red herring. Honestly believe that? Give it some thought and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Larice the Oxnard was in her room on the night of the murder. There's no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere could not be related to this case. That is all.
Objection!
Miss Francisco von Koch. The only people who will accept the explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? Victim's crystal sphere was found at the bridge on the night of the murder. Yet you expect me to believe this has nothing to do with the case?
Objection!
The crystal sphere was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There's blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? The statue suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off to second. For that same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? Ah! All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. As he makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Larice the Oxnard left Tezuka temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case and this witness you required, will have been nothing more than a momentous waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place. Prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he's doing. This is the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I'll prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? Look in your eyes. Remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That to come as no surprise. Because right now I am Phoenix Wright and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder.
Take that!
this crystal spear, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I need to hear from you, Larry. The testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal spear was dropped, it was snowing, even though if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal spear must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal spear to come loose. What? What could that have been? This spear. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise the certain possibility of this chunk. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
Murder takes place in the Hazard Temple courtyard. Only a fool suggests it's a first place of absolute foolishness. Who is the fool? Who as far as the foolishness von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? Your sister saw everything. You saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazard Temple courtyard.
Objection!
That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what you saw was the mortar weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost. The moment of a blade's insertion, if you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost in the body, that would be when the blade is removed. That statement is the truth. The Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was removed. Thus, there was no bleeding.
Objection!
Don't forget one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least the oxen's body was found in Hazakura Temple. But it takes 2 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You need to suggest someone carried the body all that way. Go this far. Let me please take this to the end. Was it perfectly plausible? Now, when the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
Take that!
That snowy night. There was one way that body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Aha! As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the motor weapon. It could have also been used to carry a body. Order! Yes! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth! You've taken yourself into your own grave! You mean? The only one who could have used snowmobile was the defendant. He's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the fire nail in your coffin? You're too late, Francisco von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We're certain that this case requires further investigation! What? Where was the victim released the oxen when he killed? The body was moved wherever before. And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection!
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Lindsay, thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Princess of Ankama, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There is one reason, one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all along? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I would have... Miles Edgewater. I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. Shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. I'm sorry. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You're an affront. Under my satisfaction. Believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for this question it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I'm counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, it's up to you, right? Court is now adjourned.